All right, hey, there's Jonathan, and this week I want to talk about the elements of every athlete. I used this example this past weekend, and I apologize to the athletes who were there because I was excited and I didn't explain it kind of to the best of my ability. But what I was trying to get across the athletes was this concept that as people, we have personalities. And there's now, for the adults watching this, you'll know that there's a lot of different personality profiles. You may have done them for work. You may have done them for your career or upon graduation, things like that. But one of the ones I like to use the best with athletes is this idea of the elements. So we have fire and we have water, and then we have earth and we have air. So if you looked on a grid, and maybe I'll put a little graphic up here, but we've got fire, water, earth, and air. And so what you're doing with these elements is you're thinking like, okay, well, what's a fiery personality like? And you can come up with your own examples. I go into depth with this into our high performance course for athletes, our success principles course for athletes. You'll want to check those out. But so fire is like a fiery personality, right? And then water is more of a passive personality. Like, my sports psychologist, Dr. Jerry Lynch, he taught me this idea of like, I'm just a leaf on a river. And I think when I first learned that, I didn't really quite get it. But as I'm older now, I do understand. When things come at you, you want to take this, kind of water approach and not let it affect you and work around it, move around it. And so that's water. Now, earth is, it's like the ground. The ground it's dirt, it's solid, it's stable, it's not easily moved. You can think of people who have a stable personality, and then where they're not easily kind of blown off course sort of thing. But then on the other side of that, you have air. And, you can think of as someone who's an airhead, someone who's kind of airy-fairy, like, I know a lot of athletes in my career who are kind of like that. And, so you have these 4 different elements. Now, what happens is if you think about yourself, you'll think that you're going to identify with some more than others. You may think of yourself as like you're pretty fiery. You get kind of upset and angry. Or maybe you're kind of water and it's just kind of you're just like whatever comes and you'll deal with it. And earth, same thing. You're just kind of stable. Or maybe you're a bit of an airhead, right? And you're kind of like, what? What happened? Is it practice today? Is that rain? Like, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is this. This is where a lot of athletes say, well, I'm one and I'm not the other. I'm fiery, but I'm not water. I'm air, but I'm not earth. The thing is this, is that your sport comes at you needing a certain personality at certain times. So if you come up against a fiery athlete, you can either meet fire with fire or you can meet fire with water, right? Or if you are water, but you come in a situation where you need to be fire, you have to find that part of you that is fire. And some athletes have trouble with that. Some athletes, they go like, well, okay, I'm not, I'm not a fire guy. I'm not a fire girl. I'm pretty stable. That's okay. But that would be doing yourself a disservice because it's not about you. It's about what you need to succeed in that event. And sometimes you need fire. Like years ago, I had the privilege of knowing a world champion in the world of freestyle skiing. So when they do the aerials and they go off what's called the triple kicker, and now it's the quad kicker. They're doing like all sorts of crazy flips and they jump or they land. And this athlete, was a really mellow dude. And but what happened was when they needed more rotation, more explosiveness, they needed to find fire in them. And that's where a good coach can help you. That's where they can help you find like, okay, you need, that's where you need fire. And so this athlete then looked inside themselves and were like, okay, how can I develop fire in me? Okay. And so what I'm telling you today is that there's days when there might be days, weeks, months where you need to become more intense. You may need more fire, or maybe you're too much fire and you need a little water, or maybe you're pretty, stable and you want everything organized and you want to know what the schedule is going to be. and you need to just kind of chill out and be a little bit more airy, right? Um, the point is that you need to look at your event, you need to look at how you perform within your event, within your sport, within your competition, and find which personality is going to give you the best chance to succeed. So take a minute today, if you want to leave me a comment or send me an email, either way, but think a little bit about what is your personality. Are you fire or water? Are you earth or air? And then in your sport, what do you need more of? Or do you need a combination of both? Or does it morph? For a lot of athletes, it morphs. You can't be fire all the time. Even an Olympic weightlifter would tell you they can't be fire all the time. Sometimes they need to be water. They need to be air. So take some time to think today. And I have a chapter of this in my book, A Young Athlete's Guide to Success, to Winning in Sports and Life. Check that out. And if you don't have a copy, get one. But let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you're working this into your life, into your sports, and what you need more of, or what you maybe need less of. But again, hope you enjoyed this one. This is a kind of fun one. It was fun explaining it to the athletes this weekend, and I hope this video helps them, because I promised them I would do a little extra so that they can look at it again and again and again. All right, so listen, I'm Jonathan Edwards. Enjoy. Thanks so much. Send me an email, leave me a comment below. That'd be great. And if this helped you, I sure would love to hear it. And I'll see you next week. Cheers.